All right. So let's jump on. So what did we discuss in our last class? EC2 practicals, correct? So we gone through the entire EC2 console, EC2 tour, right? So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and then launch the EC2 instance. So let me share my screen. Can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? Okay, ma. Let's do this. So yesterday we have seen all these items, all the options inside this. So the pending thing is now let's go ahead and do the action. So this is the place where you can go and launch the EC2 instance. Okay. Either from the dashboard, you can launch it from here also. Okay. And or if you click on the left side instances, you can click launch instance also. And this also, anything is same. So click on launch instance. How many steps are there to launch an EC2 instance? 7 steps. So for that reason, and I told you that all these 7 steps are now as formed as only one step. Everything is combined. So let us see what are the things that we know and what. And do you see this here name? Should we give the name of the EC2 instance? So call it as. So should we go and set up a Linux server? Can I call it as Linux server? Yes. So basically that is the tag. What is the key here? Key is name, value is equal to Linux server I have given. Okay. So how many tags you can add per resource? Maximum, how many? 50. You can keep on adding how many tags that you want. You can keep on adding the tags. Okay. So now I'm adding as Linux server. Okay, ma? So that is one. And then the second step here is operating system, AMI. So we need to select the AMI here. And do you see this here? Click on browse more AMIs here. You need to concentrate here. Okay. So click on browse more AMIs. So click on browse more AMIs. And then on the left side, we need to select free tier. You need to follow the same things. Okay. Select the free tier. And which is the AMI that we should always select? I said Red Hat. In our course, we'll let us select the Red Hat. Do you see this here? Red Hat. So should we go for x86 or ARM? x86, select it. So you don't need to do anything here. Just you need to click on select. So I have selected the AMI. Got it? How to select an AMI? Can you select your own AMIs also? Yes. So now as we don't have any AMIs, custom AMIs, we have selected the Amazon provided AMI. Okay. So now let's come down. And here it is asking for instance type. And which is the instance type that we should select? T2 micro. It is already selected there. And in real time, if you want to select any other instance types, you just go and select whichever the instance type that you need. So, but here we should always go with the instance T2 micro. And do you see this here? We have all generations. Is it recommended to use current generation or is recommended to use previous generation also? So here, always keep that in mind, go with the current generation. If you select all generations there, your old families will also come here. Okay, so let's go with the T2 micro. And then next is asking for the key pair. So do we have any default key pair? No. So I already have couple of key pairs. So let's not worry. So should we go and create a new key pair now? So definitely you need to attach one key pair to the EC2 instance. Is it recommended to launch an EC2 instance without key pair? No. So do you see this here? Here is a proceed without key pair and it says not recommended. So should we go ahead and create a key pair here? Yes, click on create new key pair. And I call it as here 6 p.m. batch. Okay, just give the name. Okay, and then here go with RSA. If you go for this one, that is mostly for your PPKs, that meaning for Linux. So go with RSA and let's go PEM. So do we know how to convert PEM to PPK? Using what? PuttyGen. Correct. So I'll show you how to generate that, how to convert it. So now just give the name and then select PEM file. And let's click on create key pair. Do you all understand how to create key pair? Just give the name and then click on create key pair. Click on create key pair. Do you see key pair got downloaded? So keep this key pair very safe. So I open this, right? And I put it somewhere here, paste. I kept the, okay. So did you see this here 6 p.m. got created now? So every time you need to create a new key pair? No, you don't need to create a new key pair every time. So create it one time and then use it. And I said, one key pair can be attached to multiple EC2 instances. Yes, this is the thing. No, PPK, we will convert it. You don't need to download it. If you download PPK, do you get the PEM file? No. So that's why you download the PEM file itself, and then we will convert that to PPK. And then, is it clear till here, everyone? Slowly, one by one, I'm going one by one. Coming to the network settings. So you need to click on edit. So guys, everything is selected by default here. Let's not select the defaults one. So let's click on edit. And your EC2 instance should be inside the VPC. Do you all agree that I told you that there will be a default VPC? So we need to go with the default VPC only. So that's why here VPC, the default AWS is already created. And I told you while creating the VPC, we need to give the range, you know. Remember range. What is the range that AWS is giving here? 172.31.00.16. So whenever you launch the EC2 instance inside this VPC, you will get the IP address with this range, 172 series. Okay. You don't need to do anything, just select the default VPC. And subnets. How many availability zones are there in Mumbai? 3. And then I told you each one subnet is associated to one availability zone. That means how many subnets will be there here? 3. So if you select here, do you see this? How many are there? 3 subnets are there. So this is automatically created. This is created default by AWS. When you are good in AWS, when you go to VPC section, there I'll show you, I will teach you how to create VPC, how to create subnets, etc. But here we need to use default VPC, default security group, default subnets, everything will go with the defaults. So there is a question here. How many subnets are there here? 3 subnets are there. Only 3 subnets can be created. Can we create 4th subnets? Yes, you can create the 4th subnet also, right? So here now each subnet is associated to one availability. Do you see that here on top? 1A is there, 1B is there, and then 1C is there. So now which one you need to select? You can go with anyone, but generally I will recommend go with 1A, 1B. 1C you will have some problems sometimes. Okay, so go with 1A or 1B. If you select no preference, we will check in VPC section, Apurva. You can create many, dozens you can create. Okay, so do you see this here? If you select no preference, AWS will launch your EC2 instance in any of the subnets. And do you remember in our starting days, I told you all your EC2 instances will be placed in availability zones. Yes or no? So when you are launching the EC2 instance, I need to select the availability zone. Which one? I'll go with the 1A. So I'll go with 1A. Can you select 1B also? Yes, you can select 1B. Getting it? No? So now next is here auto assign public IP. So here we need to connect to the EC2 instance, no? So you have a laptop with you and you want to connect to the EC2 instance. Your laptop is in internet, yes or no? So if you want to connect to your EC2 instance, so we need to assign public IP, yes or no? We need to assign public IP, yes. So we need to, what we need to do? Enable it. So if you disable it, will you get public IP? No. Can you able to connect to the EC2 instance? What is the default IP that you get? Private IP. So can you connect to the private IP from internet? No. For that reason, we'll go and enable the public IP. But in your real time, will you enable public IP? In real time? No, don't enable it. So you will be connecting from company, no? From company, if you want to connect to the private IPs, how do you connect? Through VPN. You will have a VPN, you will be connecting directly to the private IPs. As we are in internet, as we are learning, that's the reason why we need to select public IP. Super. And then firewall. So I told you, is it recommended to create a security group or use the default security group? So which one here I need to select? Select existing security group. Do not create new security group. I'm telling you. So you don't listen. Some people don't listen. Don't listen meaning they don't remember. So what they do is they select and then they create it. And a new security group will get created. But they will be adding protocols to default security group. Will you able to log into the EC2 instance? No, right? For that reason, select the default, select the existing security group. And which security group? I'm selecting it, default. Getting it, ma? Huh? Okay. Nice. So now, do you see advanced network configuration? Expand this. Actually, you no need to do anything here. Actually, you no need to do anything there, but I'm just explaining you. Did I told you that we have two network interfaces for each? What is that? ETH0 and ETH1, correct? So here we call it as, this is ETH0. Can I go and add another network interface? Yes, that will be ETH1. And I told you this first ETH0 is assigned to which type of IP? Private IP. Fantastic. It is for private IP. So, and by default, the second ETH1 is assigned for public IP. ETH1 is assigned for public IP. Here, if you go and click on add network interface, if you're going for the ETH1, will you assign public IP anymore? No, right? Do you see? There will be the auto assign IP can only be assigned to instance, blah, blah. Either disable auto assign IP and remove the network interface. So basically here, you cannot assign the auto assign public IP, you cannot assign anymore. So I'm just reviewing it. So remember ETH1, that meaning network interface 2 is for public IP address. Okay, if you want to see, this is a network device index is ETH0. Okay, network interface. Can you give your own description? You can give. This is a subnet. And which security group we have already selected? If we expand this, default security group is already there, no issues. And I told you this, IP address. Private IP address will be automatically assigned to the EC2 instance. Answer is yes. And mostly this private IP address is static or dynamic? Static only. So guys, AWS will automatically assign the IP address. You no need to put anything here in primary IP, because AWS will automatically assign it from the network that you have configured already on the VPC. But you want to give the static IPs purposefully for the EC2 instance. 1.2.3.4 example. Can you give it here statically? Yes. But is it recommended? Is it mandatory to give like that? Who will assign the private IPs? AWS. Do we need to worry here? No, just leave it. And one question for you. One EC2 instance can have multiple IP addresses? Answer is yes. What is that now? Answer is yes. So one EC2 instance can have multiple private IPs. What is that? Multiple private IPs. You no need to go to the topic because that is a networking related topic, but I'm just giving you an idea. Let's say you take two EC2 instances. Two EC2 instances has their own IP address. All the clients or customers will be connected to that IP addresses, private IP addresses. Okay, now I have some application installed on first EC2 instance and second instance, and they both needs to do the heartbeat, health check. Every second they need to do the health check. Now tell me, that health check should be done using the private IPs, that primary IPs? No, because it will get loaded, no. All the customers are connecting to the EC2 instance. You're getting what I'm saying? So do you see this here? I have this EC2 instance. this EC2 instance. And I have this primary IP is, this is primary IP. Primary IP is, let's say 172.31.10.20. And this is 10.21, for example. Guys, all your customers are getting connected to this primary IPs. Yes or no? Yes. Now I want to do some heartbeat from this to this. I need to do some verifications. And that verification will be happening every second. Do you recommend to use these IP addresses to the verifications? What will happen? You'll get overloaded, no? Every second you are going hitting it. When customer is trying to access it, there will be a performance issue, right? For that reason, can I assign another IP addresses here for this separately? I can go and assign another IP addresses. That can be a secondary IP address. So for this kind of purposes, you can have the secondary IP. But do we need now? Not required. So keep it, leave it. Are we using IPv4 or IPv6? IPv6. Sorry, IPv4. IPv6, no need to worry on it. So delete on termination. Automatically, whenever your EC2 instance is terminated, your network interface will also get terminated. The answer is yes, that is default. And here you have EFA. What is this? What is this, guys? EFA, Elastic Fabric Adapter. What is that? This one, this is now grayed out. Do you see? That is grayed out, no? Grayed out. That meaning I don't have option to enable it. For this T2 micro, it will not support. What is this EFA is? If you want to have a super high performance network, NIC cards, you need to do lots of to and fro network in and outs. Let's say for your machine learning, for your high performance computing, right? For bigger applications. And if you want to send a traffic to the network interfaces very fast, then you need to go and enable this EFA. You have taken bloody T2 micro. You have bloody taken T2 micro. Do you expect super high performance? No. Correct? Understood now? Do you see this here? An EFA is a network device that you can attach to your instances to reduce latency and increase throughput for HPC and ML applications. Please write down certification question. EFA, Elastic Fabric Adapter. Elastic Fabric Adapter. Elastic Fabric Adapter. So EFA is a network device. Write down. EFA is a network device that can be attached to the EC2 instance. EFA is a network device that can be attached to the EC2 instance to reduce latency and increase throughput. To reduce latency and increase throughput for ML and HPC applications. ML, machine learning. ML and HPC, high performance computing. Applications. Okay. So that is a certification question. So this EFA will be supported to T2 micro? No. So that's why it is grayed out. Do you all understood the network configurations, everyone? Do you need to go and attach another network device, network interface? No need. So basically, you don't need to do anything here. But did we learn all these things? Okay. Is it clear till here, everyone? Network configurations, online, CC, non-IT. Okay, nice. Coming to the configure storage. Storage is nothing but here volumes. Storage is nothing but volumes. I told you If you are taking Windows EC2 instance, what is the default size you get? 30 GB. And if you're taking Linux, 8 or 10. So how much you are getting it here by default? 10. And what is the default volume type? GP2. Do you see that GP2 here? And what is the default volume that you get? Root volume. Do you see the root volume here? And by default, your volumes are encrypted? No, not encrypted. Do you see this? Did we learn all these things? If you want to encrypt it, from which service that you can encrypt? KMS. What is that? KMS. What is full form of KMS? Key management service. Okay. So this is called your root volume. What is this called? Root volume. Can you go and add additional volumes also? But do you add now? Don't do that. Because, and do you increase the size? Don't do it. So we are not putting any data inside it. Okay. We are not putting any data inside it. Okay. Do you see this here? Advanced. If you click on it, if you expand it, you will get a little bit more. What is the storage type we are using? What is another storage type you have? Instant store. But this is our EBS. What is the device name of root volume? /dev/SDA1. Your volumes are created from? Volumes are created from snapshots. So you have a snapshot. And then size is GP2, right? IOPS, you will, for GP2, our IOPS will automatically get it. No, how much? 1:3 ratio. So if you click on info and you see this here, for every so somewhere it will be okay. So for the 3 IOPS per GB. That meaning for 1 GB, how many IOPS you get? 3. That meaning 1:3 only, no? Okay. This one it shows like that. For GP2, you have different types, no? For GP2, it is 1:3 on. It is not encrypted, yes or no? Not encrypted. But if you want to encrypt the volume, simply select encrypted, and you have the KMS key. Remember, guys, for every service, there will be a default encryption key will be there. For EBS, what is encryption key? AWS/EBS. What is that? What is that? For S3, AWS/S3. For RDS? For EFS? So for every service, there will be a default encryption key. You can use that. Or can you create your own encryption key by going to a KMS? And you can drop down here and you can select your own key. Okay. But I'm not encrypting it now. But if you encrypt it, do you need to worry about decryption? Decryption is completely managed by AWS. Do you all understood? Hide details, make it simple. Is it clear on storage? What is the meaning of? Encryption is used for security purpose. So remember, what the data, if you don't encrypt it, the data it will be easily visible. Someone can easily hack it. But if you encrypt it, the data will not be in readable format. It will be completely in Chinese language, right? Unless if you have a write tree that can be decrypted. Otherwise, no one can hack it. Yes, if you have in your real time, if you have a requirement that everything should be in encrypted format, go and enable it. Otherwise, not it. Is it clear on this? And do you see this here? 0 into file systems. File systems meaning here they are talking about EFS. They're talking about EFS. But did we learn about EFS till now? No. Right? So when we go to EFS, then I'll come and talk here. Right? We have a separate class on EFS. Don't do anything there. Is it clear on the storage? So that meaning, do you need to do anything here? Nothing. But do you learn everything there? Is it clear, ma? Storage? Okay. Okay. Add volume. Can you add additional volumes? Yes, you can add additional volume, but not now, not required. Right? When we talk separately on the volume section, I'll go and add, not now. Next, Actually, you can launch instance also directly. But do you see here what is there? Advanced details. So should we go ahead and then click on it? Advanced details. Yes, click on advanced details. Let's see whatever we have. City, AWS is providing so many options. Does it mean that we need to select each and everything? We need to utilize each and everything? Amma, we are paying for it now, so we need to use everything. So no, not like that. Based on the requirement, you need to choose. So AWS, for launching the machine EC2 instance, he'll give 100 features. Whatever is necessary for you, you select it. Otherwise, the rest leave it default. Okay, now we are going and launching the EC2 instance. Yes or no? We are going and launching the EC2 instance. Is it on demand or spot? On demand. So here it is asking for spot. Do you spot it now? Not required, no. But if at all you want to spot later, how do you see this? Check request spot instance. Do you see customize? So set your maximum price. We need to set our price now, right? Set your max. And currently the current price is 0.045, 4.5 cents per hour. So you need to give 0.0 more than 4.5 you need to give. Then only you will get it, or equal to you can give it. If you give that and request type is one time or persistent, you want the spot instance for one time, or you want it for to do recurring. Persistent meaning you want this machine to be with you, right? So one time meaning it will come, use it, and then gone. Persistence meaning it will be stopped. And whenever required, you spot it again, you will get the machine. So that is one time or persistence. So you want to set an expiry, and you want to, if you select persistent, you want to stop the machine, or you want to terminate, or input to hibernate. You need to select all these things. Only you need to select these things. That's it. You need to give your price details. That's it. You don't need to do anything else. But do you need the spot now? No. So I'm not doing it. Hibernate means you see hibernate here in AWS. That's why you're asking. But you don't know hibernate? Sleep mode. Whenever sometimes you're working or watching in laptops, if some your friends or your parents come, all of a sudden what you do? You close it, no? What will happen? The machine will go in which state? Sleep state. Sleep is nothing but hibernate only, no? All your data will be saved in memory. Whenever you open your laptop, will it boot it again? It will comes up just like that. Correct? It will comes up just like that. So all your data will be resumed, right? So that is called sleep mode or hibernate mode. Both are same. Okay. Hey, do you remember domain join directory? Active directory. Remember active directory? The big concept we have learned. But I told you that, are we ready to create active directory? No, it will take, you need to purchase a domain for that, which is you need to pay, and you need to go and set up active directory, which is $350 per month. So don't do it. But in real time, they might be having a domain already. You need to just select it. I told you, right? You have so many EC2 instances. All the EC2 instances, you join to the domain. I told you, join to the domain. Where do you create users? In Active Directory. Where do you create users? In Active Directory. So do you need to log into the EC2 instance using administrator? No need. So use this Active Directory users to log into the EC2 instance. How does this EC2 instance know the username and password? You need to join this EC2 instance to the directory. Then only will be. So here is the place where you need to join. But do you have any directory now? No, skip it. There will not be any default Akhil. In real time, there will be a domain that you will be selecting it. There is no default here. And role. Guys, what is that? A role. Do you remember? In IIM, we learned about role. What is role? What is a role? Temporary access without credentials. Correct? Temporary access without credentials. So I told you, create a role and attach to EC2 instance. Correct? Do you remember that line? Create a role and attach. This is the place, domain mean company name. Yes, Apurva. So this is the place where you need to go and attach the role. But do we attach now? No need. When time comes, I'll tell you when to attach. But for now, don't select anything. And then here you have host name, IP address, and resource name. Guys, you need to have the host name. What is host name? Name of the server. Starting we have learned, no? Host name of the server. You need to have the name of the server, no? That name of the server should be your IP address or your resource name. You need to find out. Basically, you don't need to do anything. Don't do. DNS host name will be automatically comes up. So you can just skip this part. Just leave it default. Instance auto recovery. What is this auto recovery, guys? Auto recovery meaning 2/2 checks are passed. Remember? Status checks. If 1/2 is passed, will you able to log into the EC2 instance? So if you select this auto recovery, by default it is there. If you select auto recovery, automatically it will recover in the backend. So you will not get 1/2 or 0/2. Automatically you get 2/2. That is called auto recovery. That is default. And then you have here shutdown behavior. Chitty shutdown behavior is, let's say you have an EC2 instance here. Okay. You logged into the EC2 instance and you have installed so many applications here. Let's say Tomcat, you have installed so many applications. And you think that tomorrow you will come and then tomorrow you will come here and then you want to do the work here. So tell me, from the EC2 instance also, do you have shutdown option like this? Yes or no? From the EC2 instance also you'll have shutdown option, no? So if you click on shutdown, this machine should be stop or terminate. It should be stop. Correct? So shutdown, so if you shut down, it should be stop. What is the shutdown behavior should be now? Stop or terminate? If you select terminate, what will happen? If you go and shut down the EC2 instance inside it, it will get terminated. So keep it stop. Just now I told you hibernate behavior. Sleep mode. You want the machine to be in sleep mode. If you want to sleep mode, put it. When do we use this sleep mode? For example, you have a very big machine. Let's say 700 GB RAM. And you're putting so much of data inside it. And there are so many processes that will come up at the boot time, which will take a lot of time to get initialized. At that time, and you have an option to stop the machine. Is it recommended to stop or hibernate? If you hibernate, will it be rebooted? No, automatically. If you hibernate, guys, if you hibernate it, AWS will charge for it. It is stop state. In stop state, AWS will charge. No, if you put hibernate, it will not be charged, but all your data is saved in the memory. It will comes up just like that. You can skip the boot time. So, but for T2 micro, do you hibernate it? No, so just leave it default. Do you understand what is hibernate? Termination protection. What is that? Termination protection. You are all working under me for now. Example, just imagine, assume you are learning now. Now we have Sharif and then Shashi. So what they both what they did it, they had a bet. They had a bet saying that, array, there are so many EC2 instances in the AWS in our Riyasar account. You are working with me. You have access to my account. And then you both has bet saying that, array, Sar has so many very important machines. For definitely, we cannot, he will not give permissions. We cannot terminate the machine. Shashi say that we can terminate. Sharif say that we cannot terminate. They did the bet. And they logged into my account. And what did they selected? Right click and then terminate. Pusuk got terminated. Important database machine got terminated. And Shashi said that I won. But the thing is, man, you have bloody terminated the EC2 instance, which is DB. Right? So these are all accidental deletions. Some knowingly or unknowingly, right? Purposefully or not purposefully, juniors, seniors, whoever it is, Pusuk, they will go and terminate the EC2 instance sometimes. Is it recommended to go and do like that? No. Whenever or on the weekends, if you had a nice sitting, I mean, discussion. On the weekend, you had a nice discussion. On Monday, you come with hangover. No, you come to office with nice fresh mind. If you are in a different kind of mood set, will you go and terminate the machines? So if you want to stop those kind of activities, what you need to do here, termination protection, you can set it enable. If you enable termination protection, what will happen? Can you terminate the EC2 instance? The terminate option, the terminate button will be grayed out. How many times you click it, there is no action on it until unless you come and disable this termination protection. Once you disable it, then only you can terminate it. So by the time you will get to know, array, termination protection is enabled, that meaning it is important machine, don't terminate it. By the time you will get recognized, you will get realized, correct? Okay. There is a question, once terminated, can we get the data from recycle bin? Recycle bin concept is on which topic? Snapshots topic, correct? So all your data is saved where? Here in EC2 instance, all the data is saved where? In volumes. If you are taking the copy of the volume, you will have a backup. If you don't take the copy of the volume, if you don't have a snapshot, can you get it back? No, terminate meaning gone. Terminate meaning gone. So that is termination protection. And stop protection also same thing. If you don't want to stop the machine suddenly, all of a sudden, you can enable the stop protection. So people can stop it. Okay, now I have so many machines and you are all 50 members are there with me. And I don't want to give access to all of you to stop the machine. Can I write a IAM policy and attach to all you guys saying that, hey, these people cannot stop the machine? I can write it. And I can also write policy saying that you people cannot go and disable this option also. Can I write it? Inline policies, you can write it, no? Yes. These are all the real-time scenarios. In monitoring will be done by which service? CloudWatch. In CloudWatch, we have two types of monitorings. What are those? Basic and detail. Which one? Basic and detail. So basics meaning how many minutes? 5 minutes. Free or charge? Free. And detail is 1 minute. Free or charge? And do you read this here? Detailed CloudWatch monitoring. Will you enable it? Don't enable it. $, right? You will get the bill. Don't enable it. Credit specification. Do you remember burstable performance instances? CPU credits. You want to have a CPU credits? Put it as unlimited. So unlimitedly, you will get the CPUs credited in the backend. But it is chargeable. Don't enable it. Replacement group. Remember yesterday, did we create a replacement group? Yesterday, we created a placement group. And if you have created a placement group, you select like this, you will get the cluster PG. Yesterday, we created it. No? Select that. That's it. If you are launching the machines and if you want to keep this EC2 instance in a group, create a group and select this group here. How many? If you want to launch 10 machines, for all 10 machines, select the same group. If you select the group, all the machines will be in the same rack, same availability zone. You're getting everyone till here? I'm telling you again. Nowhere, no one will teach you step by step, option by option. I'm telling you, nowhere in any YouTubes also, you don't have this kind of explanation. So make use of it, please. I could say, by the way, can I say that? Do I need to open this advanced detail setter? No need to select anything. I could have skipped it. But why I'm saying all these things? Because you have to learn more and there will be a chance of having certification questions. And next, EBS optimized instance. What is that? EBS optimized instance meaning, guys, EC2 instance. And this is your EBS volumes, correct? You see here, guys, you create a volume here and you attach it, correct? Yes or no? So whenever you're putting any data inside this volume, automatically this will go and sit in the EBS volume, EBS, centralized storage. Yes or no? Yes. So whenever you're putting data and removing data, everything will be coming to and fro from here like this, correct? Yes or no? Okay. Okay. Now I have another, there are few EC2 instances which are optimized to EBS volumes. Kacha rasta. That meaning another route which is optimized. So from one place to another place, you can go straight away, straight road. And you also have sometimes crossroads, no, where you can go easily, fastly. Yes or no? Similarly, here also you have few EC2 instances are EBS optimized. So if you select this EBS optimized, your performance to your volumes will be higher. So now here, do you see this here? EBS optimized. Our T2 micro is EBS optimized. So T2 X large, little bit bigger machines are EBS optimized. That means you'll have a good performance. Throughput will be really good. Okay, ma? Yesterday we have learned about capacity reservations. Yes or no? Those who have missed the classes yesterday, but we have learned about capacity reservation. This is also a kind of pricing model. Capacity reservation, you can reserve the capacities. Are we reserving any capacities here now? Huh? How many open? No, you're not doing any. Don't do it. Tenancy. Did we learn about tenancy? Shared or dedicated? So by default, it is shared only. Do not go for dedicated or do not go for dedicated host. If you pusuk select this and launch, milega. Okay. Rest all these things. Do you see this here? RAM disk ID automatically, or this will get selected automatically. You no need to worry on it. RAM disk ID, guys. Backend RAM related things, kernel related things. Who will handle all these things? AWS. So he's giving information like this, but it is ringa roses here. But kernel ID. Do you see all these kernels? Kernel meaning what is kernel? Military kernel. Kernel is the core component of your operating system. Operating system is nothing but kernel only. All your code will be inside the kernel. The name is just operating system, but entire code will be working inside the kernel. So I haven't seen selecting anyone kernel IDs here, but let it be default because we have selected AMI, that will come, Red Hat will come automatically. Don't worry. Nitro enclave. What is this? Nitro enclave meaning, let's say if you want to pass some sensitive, confidential information. The EC2 instance has super sensitive confidence information. So you need to select this Nitro enclave in that case. Do you see this here? A Nitro enclave is a trusted execution environment. The environment is super secure, in which you can securely process sensitive data. Please write down Nitro enclave is equal to Nitro enclave. Nitro enclave is a trusted execution environment. TEE. T. A Nitro enclave is a trusted execution environment in which you can securely process, sensitive data. So write down there also, Nitro enclaves will support which has more than 2 CPUs instance types. Nitro Enclave supports for having more than 2 CPUs EC2 instance type. Our T2 micro has how many CPUs? 1. Does it support Nitro Enclave? No. Okay, no? All these license configurations and all, you can leave it, with which is license will come automatically. We don't need to provide any licenses and all. Guys, here, do you see this metadata? Do we need to have metadata? Yes or no? We need to have meta. What is metadata? Data about instance, who has launched, when has launched, what are the details, etc., etc. All this information we need to have. So keep everything default. So we need to have all these things. So keep everything default, no changes required. Yes, Nitro is chargeable. And you have user data. What is user data? What is user data? Bootstrap scripting. What is that? I told you that we can have a Linux shell scripting, no? So do you need to put now? We will do it. But now we are just going and launching the machines. And then finally, on the right side, do you see number of instances? How many instances you want to launch? 1 or 2, 3, 5 at a time. You can launch multiple machines. Chitty, do you all understood all the options here, everyone? So should I go and quickly launch our EC2 instance? Huh? You need to select. You need to say which one to select, which one not to select. Ready? I think it's you need to switch off the fans. Then you will stop all these things. Okay. Name. Kumari. Linux server. So call it as, you can give any name, no? Linux server. And next. Where to click? Browse more AMIs. Next. Free tire. Next. Third one. Coming down. Already selected T2 micro. Very good. Next. What I need to click? Drop down. Which one I need to select? Did I create it and kept it safe? I already created key pair, right? Do I need to create key pairs every time? Pusuk, if we have deleted the key pair, can you create it again? But same key pair, you will get it? No. Okay. Next, network setting. What I need to do? I cannot select it. Click on edit. VPC is default. Next subnet. 1A. Okay. Auto enable IP, public IP, enable it. Security group, existing security group. Default. Do I need to go for advanced network configurations? No need. Do I need to change anything here? Configure storage. Do I need to change anything here? Advanced details? No. But should I show you one thing here? Termination protection. For now, I'll show you. Termination protection, I'll enable it. So I'll select only that. Do I need to select anything else here? But did we learn all these things? Okay. And now click on. See, simple, no? We have spent so much of time for learning, but matter of click. Do you see this? Now I click on instances. Hey, see here, guys. Linux server, this is a, remember, for every instance, we have instance ID. For every volume, we have volume ID. For every snapshot, we have snapshot ID. For every image, you have image ID. For everything, you have IDs. This is a instance ID. Instance state is, there is a certification question here. How many states are there? There are 6 states. How many? How many instance states are there? 6 states are there. See here, pending, running. So whenever you launch the EC2 instance, it will be in pending state. Now it has moved to running, pending, running. Whenever you stop the EC2 instance, the status is stopping, stopped. What is that? Stopping, stopped. And whenever you terminate the EC2 instance, shutting down, terminated. Shutting down, terminated. Again, how many states are there? 6 states. What are those? Pending, running, stopping, stop, shutting down, terminated. Write down. 6 states. Very important. So pending, running, stopping, stop, and shutting down, terminate. Those shutting down, terminated. Very good. See here, guys. If I refresh this, okay. See here, Chitty. Do you see status checker? Status check is initializing. So if you wait for some time, it here how many you get? 2 by 2. 2/2 checks are passed. You will get it in green color. But you need to wait. Do I need to do anything here? No. Automatically you get. Do you see this here? Refresh button. This ring is called refresh button. If you keep on refreshing it, it will come. So alarms and all will create it in which section? I mean, which service? Alarms, CloudWatch. So we don't do it. And the EC2 instance in which availability zone you have launched? 1A. And I'll come to this. And do you see in the bottom, you have detailed section. Do you remember? I told you instance metadata from where you can see from the console. Which section is that? Detail section. So if you click on detail section, do you see this city here? Instance ID, public IP. See, public IP, private IP. You get it everything, no? Who has assigned all these IP addresses? AWS. Do you see the public IP here? Do you see the public IP? And this public IP is static, dynamic. Static or dynamic? Dynamic, correct? Dynamic. What is the meaning of dynamic? So what I need to do to get change? Stop and start. So if you stop and start the EC2 instance, IP address will change. Should we check it? Should we try and see? Okay, now I copy this and I put it in the chat. That is the IP address 39106. Okay. Chitty, how to stop the machine? Select the machine, instance state, stop, and say stop. And what is the state here? Stopping, and then it will become stopped. Now let's say the IP address is changing or not. Do you see this? Stopped. IP address is gone. So should I go and start the machine now? Start instance. Pending. And after some time, you will get it running. So wait. It is running. Do you see IP address got changed? Right? So that is called public IP. So if you stop and start the EC2 instance, public address will be changed. If someone is connected with the old IP, will you able to connect now? No, because the IP address changed. Again, you need to give the IP address to them. If you don't want this to be happen, what IP address that you need to assign for this? Elastic IP, correct? Should we go and assign elastic IP and see? See. Where do you see elastic IP? Is on the left side, do you see elastic IP? Click on elastic IP. See how I am doing it. Allocate elastic IP. Nothing you do. Keep it like this only. Okay. And then click on allocate. Now it got allocated. See, this IP address, I got it automatically here. Who has provided me this IP address? AWS. So now it is it allocated for us? It is allocated. But did you associate it? You have not associated, no. So if I keep it like this, will it be charged? It will be charged. So what we do, go to actions and then associate. Associate to whom? EC2 instance. Click on associate and then which instance? Linux server. Select it. You want to choose IP address, private, select, otherwise no need. And you have allowed this elastic IP address to be reassociated. Do we have any already elastic IP attached to the EC2 instance? No. If it is there, that will get removed and this will be added if you have this option. But I'm not doing so. Associate. Associated now. Now it is free. Yes, it is free. I go to the instance now. And do you see this here? If I refresh it, that IP went and I got the new IP. Do you see this here, elastic IP? And elastic IP and public IP is both are now same. Is it possible to have different? No, not possible. So if I stop and start the EC2 instance, no, you cannot do, Ravichandra. If I stop and start the EC2 instance, this IP address will change, elastic IP. Should we go and try? Let's do. Go and stop. Stopping. It is stopped. I go and start it again, guys. I go and start again. It is pending. Running. Is it changed? It's not changed. Do you all understood now how to associate elastic IP to the EC2 instance? How to play with public IP? Now elastic IP is got attached. Should I remove it now? How to remove this? Go to elastic IP. Go to elastic IP. And then first is it is associated. What I need to do now? First I need to disassociate. Detach or disassociate. Disassociate it first. Disassociate. Now it is disassociated. Now it is available now? Yes. Now I need to release it to release elastic IP to AWS. Release meaning delete. Release meaning delete. Click on it and then release it. Gone. Now I go back to the instance and see if I refresh it, you will get the public, you will get the elastic IP. No, you will get the new one, which is the other one, new one. You all understood how to deal with this elastic IP and public IPs? Super. And do you see this here? Public DNS? Guys, for I told you, for every EC2 instance, you have a host name and then IP address. Host name is nothing but DNS name. So for this EC2 instance also, you have the public IP address and you have the public DNS also. Do you see the same IP addresses here inside the IP address in the DNS? Yes. The question here is, if the public IP address changes, the DNS will also change? Public DNS? That is a certification question. Write down. If the public IP address changes for EC2 instance, first write for EC2 instance, comma, for EC2 instance, if public IP address changes, public DNS also change. If public IP address changes, public DNS will also change. Nice. Guys, if you stop and start the EC2 instance, private IP will be changed. It will be there like that only. You see, the IP address is like this only. You all understood? So in detail sections, you see all the information, which VPC ID, what is the IP address, did I assign IAM role or not, what is the subnet ID, is any auto scaling group is attached there, monitoring is enabled or disabled, what is the AM ID, what is the platform, what is the platform details, stop protection is enabled, disabled, all the information you can, and which key pair is attached, who is the owner, all these things you will get it from the detail section. If you want to know more about the EC2 instance, go and check it in detail section. Okay, now coming to security. Security is nothing but which one? Security group only. What is that? Security. Yesterday, did we saw the security group? Same thing, you will get it here. Did we know how to, do you know how to add the protocols to the security group? Yes, right? So how is that? On the left side, you go to the security group and then you have inbound rules. Edit inbound rules. Add which one? Why SSH? Because that is a Linux machine. So select SSH and then my IP. Save. So now I'm okay on the security. The same thing you see it here. That's it. Outbound, inbound rules, outbound rules. So it is very jumbling here, but you can see it nicely in the security section group. Networking, same thing. IP address is related thing. Storage is related to EBS volume. So we have launched one EC2 instance. You have a root volume, no? What is the size of root volume? 8 GB. Is it encrypted? Not encrypted? Not encrypted. So all the information you see it here. At the time we are launching the EC2 instance, we have configured, no? Same thing, you get it here. Status check. What are the two types of status checks are there? Status checks. System status check, instance status check. Did we learn this? 2/2. The 2/2 checks are passed now. So my EC2 instance is no problem. No problem. Monitoring. Who will be doing the monitoring? CloudWatch. And if you want to see the CPU utilization, you expand it and try to see what is the CPU utilization. But I'll go deeper in the monitoring section when you go to the CloudWatch. Do you all understood how to launch an EC2 instance and how to check all the details of it? Yes or no? Should I go and quickly launch Windows EC2 instance? Same thing, but the only difference is Windows AMI. Okay, now you tell me how to do that. Click on launch instance. Click on launch instance. And name Windows Server. Here, browse more AMIs. Free tier. So if you come down, down, do you see Windows Server 2022 base? Go with this only. Don't go others. Okay? Don't go for anything. Make sure that whatever you're selecting, it is to be free tier eligible. So only difference is this one. Select that. Rest everything is same. I selected it. Instance type, T2 micro, key pair, 6 PM batch, coming, edit. Should I go with 1B now? Yes, I can go. Enable public IP? Yes. And security group? Default security group. Select it and add it. And do I need to do any changes here? No. What is the size for Windows? 30 GB. Do I need to go for anything for advanced details? No, not required. I go and launch it. See? Launching the Windows machine. Okay. So should we now see how to connect to these machines? What did we do today? Not heavy, easy. We have launched an EC2 instance and we are trying to connect to it. And additionally, we have seen elastic IPs. Okay. Okay, ma. See here, guys, everyone. Which machine is ready now? Linux server is ready. No, 2/2 checks are passed. No. If we go with the 1B, can we use placement group cluster? What is your answer? There is question from Akhil. If we go with 1B, can we use placement group cluster? Doesn't matter, no. If it is 1A, 1B also, you can go with the placement group. But make sure if it is same availability zone, meaning cluster, meaning it has to be same availability zone. 1B, 1B meaning all 1B you can group once. All 1A you can group once. Can you group 1A and 1B? No, don't do that. That will become what placement group? If your EC2 instance in two different availability zones, which placement group is that? Spread placement group. Okay, ma, see here, very important. How to connect to the Linux machine. Should I show you now? What is the tool that you need to install? Putty. What is that? Go to Google and download Putty. Easy. Do I need to show how to download? No need. Just to go to Google and type Putty. Putty download. Putty download for Windows. Huh? See here, go for the first link. And do you see download Putty? Putty, huh? And do you see these as 64-bit? This one. Click. If you download, and this is how you get it. Okay. And also come down. Download Putty Gen. Do you see here Putty Gen 64-bit? Download this too also. Okay. So I'm giving the URL to here, people. So guys, here I have downloaded the Putty. Chitty, see here, very important. Very important. I have downloaded the Putty. But the Putty supports PEM file. What it support? So we need to convert that, no? So using which tool we need to convert? Putty Gen. And I have installed Putty Gen also. This is Putty Gen. Open Putty Gen like this. See here carefully, screen. How I'm converting PEM file to PPK. Very easy. Online people, concentrate. You just need to click on load. Load. Aim. And then select the PEM file. And do you see this here? Whenever you go here, do you see this here? PPK is there. That's why you cannot see the PEM file. You need to select here all files. If you select all files, do you see the 6 p.m. batch PEM file? Open it. What I did, load, open PEM file. That's it. And do you see save private key? Click on it. Save private key. Click on yes. And then say 6 p.m. batch.ppk. Save it. That's all. That's all. Easy, no? Huh? Open Putty Gen, click on load, select the PEM file, and then save private key. Everyone understood online? And do you need to do every time like this? No, PPK is ready. PPK is ready. Now ready to connect? Yes, let's see. See here, guys. So now to connect, I need to open Putty. And here it is asking for the host name, IP address. So I need to go to select Linux server. And which IP address I need to select here? Public or private? Huh? Hey, Indra. So is it possible to connect to the EC2 instance with private IP address? Which one you need to use? Public. So click on select, copy this and put it here. Copy paste. Okay. Guys, and appearance, I want to expand this so that you can show you don't want to do this, but if you want to do it. And here in connections, expand SSH. In connections, expand SSH. Expand auth. Select credentials. What I did here, connections. Don't worry, I have written already for you. Okay, so here expand SSH, select auth credentials. Okay. Okay, ma. Do you see? In credentials, select it. In the first one, you need to browse your private key, PPK. Do you see the PPK is there? Select it. Everyone understood? In Putty, what we need to select online? Guys, is it clear? I'm doing it again. I'm canceling it. I'm doing it again. See, open Putty, copy your public IP address, put it here, and in appearance, as I have my glasses, I cannot see. I'm increasing the font. Expand, SSH, expand, auth, select credentials and browse. First or second? First, browse, select the PV and click on open. And it says accept, accept it. What is the username for Linux, default username? Answer. What is the default username for Linux machines? EC2 minus user, enter. Congratulations, you are on the Linux machine. So you can practice all your Linux if at all you want. Okay. You all understood how to connect to the Linux machine? Everyone, is it clear? Okay. Should I show you how to connect to the Windows machine now? See. My Windows machine is ready. Refresh it. 2/2 checks are passed. And in order to connect to Windows machine, what is the client that we should use? A remote desktop. In your laptop itself, remote desktop is there. Just type remote. You will get it. This one. Open it. And it is asking for what? IP address. Should you take public IP, Windows Server, public IP address, and then paste it. And click on see what happens. Initiating remote connection. Okay, Karthik, that's a good question. Hold on. So guys, I'm not able to connect. What is the problem here? Remote access to the server is not enabled, blah, blah. Remote desktop cannot connect to the remote computer. I told you, if you are not able to connect to the EC2 instance, what is the first thing that you need to check? Security group. And what is the protocol that you need to connect to the Windows machine? RDP. Did I add it? Did you guys added RDP? Then how will it work? Correct? So now go to security group and inbound rules. Edit. Add rule. And which one? RDP. Select RDP and my IP. Save rules. Now, should I go ahead and click on connect? Click on connect. Oh, now it is asking for username and password. What is the default username for Windows? Administrator. Password, how do you get it? Using key pair. Yes or no? Using key pair. Do you see this here? Windows machine. Go to actions. Okay. In security, you have get Windows password. Go to actions. In security, you have Windows password. Click on get Windows password. And guys, here you need to upload which key? PEM file you need to upload. Which PEM file that you have assigned to this machine? 6 p.m. batch. Upload. And then, where is your PEM file? Do you see PEM file? Open it. And then decrypt. And do you see this big Bluetooth password? Big password, you get it? You got the password? Do you all understand how to retrieve the password of Windows machine? I'm doing it again. See here. Select the Windows password. Will you able to retrieve the password for Linux machine? No, it is only for Windows. Select Windows. Where need to go? Action, security, get Windows password and upload, and then 6 p.m. If I select the 7:30 p.m., will it give the password? I'll select it and see. It is not even responding, right? It's not good. So select that. The actions, security, get Windows password, upload, 6 p.m. badge, decrypt. And this is the password. So go and put the password here. Enter. Say yes. And congratulations, you are in Windows machine, virtual machine. You all understood? It is same like as a laptop. Is it clear, guys? Will you able to do this? Will you able to do this practical? Okay, see here. And there is one thing here where, guys, if you go to actions, I'll talk about all these things one by one in the next class. But the thing is here, I need to talk about all these things, but don't worry. Okay. So these are the tasks that you should be doing it. Say, can you launch Windows EC2 instance? And can you connect to it? Yes. Can you go and launch the Linux EC2 instance and can you go and connect to it? I'll give the steps also how to do it. Can you go and stop and start the EC2 instance? See the public IP changes or not? Yes. Okay. And then I'll also try to stop and start the EC2 instance and see private IP is changing or not. Okay. Can you assign elastic IP to the instance and try to stop and start? IP will change or not, check it. Can it dissociate it? Yes. And guys, here, there is one, I told you that there will be one exploring topic. There will be one exploring topic. Very easy, launch template. Select the machine and here, there will be something called launch template. Where is that? Huh? Create template from instance. Nothing. Do you see that? Clicker. Give name. Click on create. And then this template will go and sit where? Do you see launch template? Here. Your template will be there. From there, can you launch an EC2 instance with the template? Can't you do that? Easy. And then, guys, shutdown behavior is stop or terminate. Shutdown behavior. Stop, right? I want you to select the stop, log into the Windows EC2 instance. Do you see this? I have logged into Windows EC2 instance like this. And do you see here? Can I go and stop the machine? Can I go and shut down? If I click on shutdown, what will happen? It should stop. I want you to select terminate and see what happens and do shutdown. Okay. And review the actions that I'll talk on it. And then shutdown behavior. Don't worry on this. This is what I was saying. Terminate the EC2 instance. Guys, how to terminate the EC2 instance? See, I'm showing how to terminate it, guys. Go to select and then terminate. But if you click on terminate, what it says? Fail to terminate. Why? Termination protection is enabled. Will you able to terminate it? No. How to do that? Go to actions and where in networking, not instance settings, stop, change termination protection. Do you see this? Select that and then disable it. Now can I go and terminate it? Go and terminate. Fasak. Guys, if you're terminating it, whatever you have in your EBS volume will get deleted. Yes, because we learned if you terminate the EC2 instance, by default, your root volume will get deleted. Yes. Or anything which is in the ephemeral storage, instance store volume will be deleted. Yes. So terminate. What is the state you get? Shutting down. And should I go and terminate the other one also? Yes. How? Same thing. Go ahead and then terminate. Terminate. City. All good? Clear? Will you able to do this practical? I told you when I start practicals. So now please take the task. I'm putting this task in the chat. You all guys are in WhatsApp group, no? Someone will put the task, you can take it, or else you can take a photo, or you can take it. Will you able to do it, guys? Yes or no? Guys, see here, last one, see. Everything is terminated. And finally, you need to go to dashboard, refresh this button. Everything should be 0 except keypads and secret group. I see 2 instances are there. So click on it. And I see 2 are there, but those are terminated. Do I need to worry about it? No. So after a few minutes, this will get disappear automatically. And guys, those who are using Ubuntu, Karthik, if you click on connect, so sorry, I just terminated. Karthik, for you, if you're using Mac machines or Ubuntu machines, click on connect. There will be an SSH command will be there. Directly use that SSH command. Okay, Karthik. Super. Sorry, I took 8 minutes extra, and please do the practicals. And tomorrow, complete your practicals. Okay. So the next class will be on Monday. Okay, now? And Monday, I should not get any, see here, Monday, I should not get any excuses. I am very little bit strict on practicals. So you have to come finish the practicals, or else you come here little bit early and go to the lab. You have mentors also, get the things done. Okay. Super. Can you give me the final CC for today, please? Guys, in our next class, I'll talk about what are the actions we have it. Okay. Super. That is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you on Monday with the next continuation of this EC2 practical. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day and have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.